for even the very, very experienced borrowers that
Yeah.
we help fund Morbies, they always are like, just do that thing that you guys know how to do really, really well, because
That's awesome.
I just want to
Yeah.
go find more properties to
That's
bring.
what I was about to say. Like, gladly,
Yeah,
here's the $1,400. Go ahead
yes,
and, pay the TC.
right.
Let me spend my time doing what I do best, which is talking to sellers and that stuff.
Yes.
Amazing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Well,
that,
thank you guys too for hopping on and at least reaching out and
yeah,
connecting and I'm all ears. So yeah.
awesome. Yeah, very good. We'll let Tim start.
Yeah, so did you get a chance to look over the funding box and
I
the
did. Yeah, I did click on the email and I went through a couple things while I was sitting there at the dealership at the Mavis. But yeah, I looked at it
good
a little bit. So and
and then the funds to close stack method calculator, did you look at that yet or no?
not yet. I didn't
Okay, that's
download
fine.
that or play around with that yet.
All right, no worries. Yeah, so we just wanted to just, basically go over the basics of what we have to offer. And I know you were sharing about your deal that you had found, the 74K deal yesterday, right? You were
Yeah,
sharing
I
that with
thought it
us.
was a great offer, a great deal. But when I had the Gary Shevitz deal or no deal underwriter that I've been using,
Oh, oh, good.
and it's through the sub two.
Well, yeah. So in terms of that deal, you said you put it into the calculator that you had, and what did it say or whatever?
Yeah, when I did it, I thought it looked like I was going to cash flow about $400 a month. That was after all expenses. But then what I didn't realize was that the DSCR loan guys aren't going to fund 100% of the thing. They're
Right.
just going to fund like 65% of it. So I would then have to come up with the 31,000, which was
Hmm.
that difference. And then once I put that in, that just kills the deal whatsoever because any
Yeah.
interest, that gets tacked on. So I actually this morning I texted the wholesaler and I said, "Hey, look, I'm so sorry, but you just cancel the thing out because it doesn't make sense for me to do anything. It won't work." So, and he
Yeah.
Right.
he kind of try to push back. Hey, well, what about we could kind of come down on the price? I said, sorry, just don't worry about it. But this
Yeah.
was a good lesson learned, and I feel bad for
Yeah.
the guy because he had two people that he saw it in person yesterday, and
Hmm.
me out of town just running the numbers and looking at pictures and doing my research, figuring, okay, this is an awesome deal. I'm just like, you know what? Let's do it. And for the fact that there's tenants already in there, it's
Yep.
cash flowing. So I'm like, all right. But if the numbers don't work, the numbers don't work.
That's it.
So,
That's
Right.
so,
it. And it's
so
too bad that that particular group or whatever that you were, that
uh-huh.
found the deal through, they don't allow the seller carryback. Their
Yeah,
their EMD has to be hard from the get-go, which most people will
yeah,
not do. So that's a lot of, you really have to invest your own money. There's not,
hmm
unless you bring in a private money lender who wants
yeah,
to partner with you, on that. And then again, like you said, the interest rate on that private money kills the
right.
deal.
Kills
And
the
it's
deal
too
right
bad
away. Yeah,
because what we offer with the stack method, a lot of times we'll make a deal like that won't work. It'll make it work because you can get favorable terms on the seller carryback. We have some people who have submitted deals with us where the seller was willing to do zero interest, zero payments for 6 months, which then allows you to kind of get it stabilized and then you can potentially, refi it for a higher
yeah,
LTV once you've proven that you have the income. But,
right.
again, with that particular group, it doesn't sound like they're not flexible on that. So that's not going to be an option. But if you find a deal
Yeah,
somewhere else, Robert, we definitely would love to help you structure it in a way that you could get it for $0 out of pocket
Mhm.
and that you could get
yep,
it with favorable terms that you would have to negotiate with the seller. But right now, sellers are willing
right.
to negotiate because it's a buyer's market. They're having a hard time, especially people like you said, like that, a tired investor, a tired landlord. they're going to be more than willing to negotiate because they just want to take it off their plate. So
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you find one of those, we can definitely help structure that for you as a seller carryback deal. We call it a
for
stack
sure.
method, where you have the
Yeah,
DSCR loan, then you stack the investor note on top of that, or the seller note on top
the
of that.
seller carry.
The seller carry,
Awesome.
right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
awesome. That
yeah.
I'm down for that. And I reached out to TC yesterday when I got it under contract, and I met her through the No One Left Behind challenge. She was our operator, and her name's Christine Key. And I texted Christine, and Christine's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so happy for you! Yay, let's get it done." And then she first says, "Well, how much is the EMD?" And I'm like, $7,500. She's like, how much is the purchase price? I'm like, $74,000. She was like, Robert, red flag, red flag. That's like more than 10% of the purchase price. Like, EMD shouldn't be that high. She's like, is it at least refundable? I'm like, no, it's not refundable. She's like, red flag, red flag.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
so,
I should get a red flag next time I'm on a call with
Yeah,
you.
right.
yeah,
No, that's good. That's the kind of TC you want to work with. The ones that are gonna not
yeah,
just do what you tell them, but they're gonna look at it too and give you another set of eyes on there. That's great.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that it did seem a little bit high, but when you said it was non-refundable, then it's like it doesn't matter what it is. If
Mhm.
it's
Right.
$750 or if it's $7,500, if it's non-refundable,
Yeah,
that's tough to fund
yeah, yeah.
unless you're willing to
So,
put that money out there and lose it yourself. I don't
right.
know
Yeah.
any people who are going to be willing to front you the EMD if it's non-refundable. So,
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's the thing that now I'm realizing like I was talking to the wrong person because I was talking
mhm,
to a wholesaler, not direct to the seller.
mhm.
So it seems like that's where I have to move or take my shift, and I'm just gonna unsubscribe from that guy's emails because I got the stuff being sent to me because
Mhm.
I was looking at an auction back in April.
Oh, right. Yeah. Mhm,
Because I got involved in the tax liens and deeds, and
Mhm.
then the real estate agent that I met in April, that real estate agent put me in touch with a Kansas City real estate group, and then the gentleman added me, and then he was from Northwestern, and then I thought, okay, well, great, I'll start looking at these deals, but the fact that I'm not necessarily trying to do it myself out of my pocket, it's like all those red tapes are there, and then I stumbled upon Pace's stuff in at the end of June, beginning of July there, and I was like, holy moly, this is like gold. I'm like, why is
Yeah.
not everybody doing this? And
Yeah.
then I got into the car accident, then my head
right.
was literally like it's brain fog. Like I would forget stuff in like seconds, and
Mhm.
I couldn't even have this conversation with you guys nice
Oh,
and fluid months ago.
Mm,
Yeah, if you ask
yeah.
Christopher, he was like, "Yeah, you see, he kept checking on me every couple of weeks. Really nice guy, genuine guy,
super nice.
and
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely
Yeah.
appreciative." And
Mhm.
then after him and I talking for a few months, he was just like, you know what, dude? What I really like everything you're saying. He's like, I like the direction and where your thought process is. He's like, why don't we just do a JV and like get things rolling and hire a VA? And so we hired a VA. We started have the VA making calls, and now
Oh.
we're trying to be the wholesalers ourselves.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
And that's not a
so
bad thing. That's not a bad thing at all because you can make some money up front
yeah,
and then you have some,
yeah,
backup
actual
money in
cash.
case you need it.
Yeah.
Right, right.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
so
And the
that's
other, can I
go
just
ahead.
interrupt there with
Yeah.
uh-huh.
the other angle on this, Robert, is within Pace's community, as you know, he does a lot of those challenges where he has bird dog wholesalers, so to speak, looking for
Yeah.
leads, right? And so I have some of my end buyers that actually have individuals that have done those bird dog challenges with Pace, but they'll be like, hey, and they'll just put in the chat, hey, I'm an end buyer looking to buy, and then they put their buy box, right? Here's my buy box.
Okay.
And all
Yeah.
of a sudden, they've got leads coming to them in those states, in those cities, whether it's single
Yeah.
family, multifamily. That would be another angle on this to
Mhm.
Okay.
have bird dog sub two people. I don't even know
Yeah.
what
Yeah. No,
bring
that's awesome. And at
bring
least,
you leads, bring you
yeah,
leads, and you stay in the position as an end buyer. So yeah,
awesome. I'll definitely consider doing that next
yeah,
time or
yeah,
whenever I join up with any type of
yes,
challenge for sure.
yeah,
I
for
do have
sure.
my buy box created and everything.
Yeah,
I remember like in April when I did this auction for the tax liens and deeds, the real estate agent said, "What's your buy box?" And I was kind of like, "Oh, what's that?"
yeah, right, right. It's not
Uh,
something you talk
Right.
about in the mortgage industry. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I was like, is this
yeah,
Amazon? Because I was
yeah,
doing some like Amazon like affiliate stuff. I was looking at doing that, and then it talked about the buy box is basically the price for
yes,
what the purchases people are paying. And
yeah,
I was like, okay,
yeah,
like
right.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
that's
definitely
good.
consider that. That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, of course, you're welcome.
Yeah. Yeah. So, in terms of what we can help you with in the future, if you do end up becoming the wholesaler, we
Hmm.
offer double close funding up to $100 million. So, if you if and why would somebody double close? Because people right away they think, well, then I have to pay for two closing costs, right? Well, yes, but a lot of times because they're done at the same title company with
Yep.
basically the two separate transactions, but with the same property,
Mhm.
it's not a full payment. A lot of title companies will do the full, you know, background search deed, to make sure everything's good, right?
Hmm.
That's what title companies do. They want to make sure there's no outstanding liens, that everything's clean. They don't have to do all that work twice. They only have to do
Right.
the paperwork twice. So a lot of times
Right.
it'll be less than it would cost you to do two separate transactions. And the other thing is you really would use that when you've got a huge, you're going to make a huge takedown on it. Like you're going to buy
Okay.
the property for 500,000, you're going to sell it for 550,000. So if your assignment fee is $50,000,
Yeah.
sometimes that'll scare away the seller. They'll be like, "Oh, if I can get this much, I'll go somewhere else." Or that'll scare away the buyer saying, "Well, I can go around you and get it for lower," right? So that's where wholesalers come to us and go, "Okay, I'm going to double close this." We provide the money to close the A to B transaction. They bring in the buyer for the B to C transaction. Those are two
Okay.
separate transactions. And then you get the difference between the two. And as my wife always points out, this is great
Yeah.
for a wholesaler because you actually have that HUD in your name. So then when you're going out there talking to sellers, you can actually
Yep.
say, "Hey, I'm a buyer. Let me send you my HUD list so you can see that
Yep.
I actually have bought these properties." And then there builds their confidence in you in terms of being able to get the deal closed. So
That's
that's just
awesome.
from a wholesaling perspective, what double closes can do for you in terms of if you're going to go that route. Now, if you're going to be the end buyer,
So
we're talking
yeah.
let's help you find one where the seller's willing to negotiate, where you're going to have a new loan, like a DSCR loan, like you were looking at with this one, right? And
Yep.
then you're going to have the seller is willing to carry back a portion of their equity, and then that they have enough equity to cover the down payment, closing costs, and our fees, and usually a little bit more to put in your pocket, right? So most of the time when people do the stack method with us, they end up with the buyer ends up with some money in their pocket.
So
Mhm.
just to clarify real quick, so
Yes,
backing up just to the double close. So Christopher and
absolutely.
I right now, we've got the VA call, and VA call says, "Hey, I've got these guys on 123 Main Street. They're looking to sell their house for $100,000."
Right.
And Christopher and I make an offer for 80, and seller's like, "You know what? Sure, we'll take it for 80."
Okay.
Now we already have spoken to some of the Owners Club member folks that are like, hey, sure, we'll buy it off your hands, fix and flip it, whatever. So all at that point I need to do with Christopher is bring the deal to you guys, and you guys can close our deal, and then for the 80, and then if the end buyer, the Owners Club members sell, buying it from us for 100 or 120, you guys can do those two transactions in one shot, is what you're saying for the double
Yes,
close.
so that's
Okay.
excellent. Yes, that's exactly what would happen. You find a seller, you get the property under contract as the end buyer, okay? So
Yep.
you're probably going to have to do the EMD on that or whatever, but
Yep.
again, in the end, as long as there's enough spread between the two different contracts, you would
Yeah.
also have your buyer in place. you would have that property, you'd have a sales, purchase and sales agreement with the end buyer. That's your B2C.
Yep.
So in order to do it with us, you have to have the A to B contract signed and ready to go, the B2C contract signed and ready to go. Send those both in. You submit those when you put in the request for funding. And Marcel is going to show you the website here in a minute. You put in
Okay.
those two, you upload those two contracts. Our team looks it over. As long as all the close of escrow dates line up, the title company lines up, the property lines up, and as long as
Okay.
everything lines up, our team kind of does a quick look on it. As long as it looks
Yeah.
good, then we're good to go. We will have those funds, at close of escrow. We
Yep.
put the funds into the title company, the escrow account.
Right.
The B2C has to put their funds in first. So the end buyer has to put their funds in escrow first. Then we
Right,
fund
because they're
ours.
purchasing.
Then they do the first transaction. They do the second transaction. Everybody gets paid. The end buyer gets his deed. The seller gets their money, and we get the money in between, right?
Yep,
And
makes sense.
most,
Yeah, and then you
most of
guys
that
make a
goes
fee.
most of that goes to you, which is great. So
That's awesome. That's pretty straightforward, very
it's,
simple.
it's
So,
real simple. That's probably one of
yeah,
the simplest deals that we do. We love double closes because it's
Yeah,
quick, it's easy. There's not a lot of moving parts. There's not a lot of crazy, what's going to happen with this.
right.
As long as you have that end buyer in place and you have that seller agreed and locked in, it's just, it's the
that's
easiest
awesome.
way to do
Okay,
it. Yeah.
got
And
it.
I would say
All right.
to that point as well, Robert, like we've seen a much smoother transaction when the whole, whoever is bringing us the double close, whether it be end buyer, wholesale, whoever, they are working with that same title company. It
Yeah,
just goes so much smoother. And I know you probably
Yeah.
already know that, but I just want to make a point
yeah,
because there are some individuals that are like, no, I'm using two separate title companies and now chaos.
yeah. Now that
Yeah.
transact,
It's
yeah,
a
yeah.
mess. It's a
Oh
mess.
yeah, I've seen that.
It
Yeah,
can be done, but
before.
it's messy. Yeah, it's messy. So.
Yep,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yep, and
Let
then
alone.
obviously EMD, we can help with that, but that's not our main thing. And we
Right,
do
right.
charge, in most cases, we charge 10% up front,
Uh-huh.
non-refundable, but then we don't charge anything on the back end.
Mhm.
So
Right.
some people for EMD will charge 30, 40, 50%. They may
Ooh,
only charge a small fee up front or maybe no fee up front, but they're going to hit you on the back end. We just do
yeah.
10% up front, no fees on the back end. It's
Mhm.
just those
Gotcha.
non-refundable fees.
For the
So
EMD stuff.
and that's 1,500 minimum, depending, even if it's a smaller deal. But again, if you know for sure you've got your B2C contract, your A to B, then that's kind of just a wash. Like it'll, in the end, you're going to end up ahead anyway. So
Right.
Yep. Yeah, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, no worries about a few dollars here or there. Like it's just
right,
about getting the deal done, and you make money
absolutely.
already in the buy once you've already negotiated with the seller, all of that stuff up front. So
That's
Yeah,
makes sense.
the only catch with that is similar to what I told you yesterday, is that if you are the end buyer, which in a double close, you are the
Hmm.
end buyer, then you
Yeah,
have to have the seller has to agree to extend the inspection period to the close of escrow to protect our EMD money.
got it.
So that and some sellers are fine with that. They don't care. They just want to get rid of the property. And some sellers are
Yep.
like, well, no. Or if you're working with, the problem is if they have an agent, if they have a real estate agents are always going to be like, no, 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 we can't do that, because they want to get money no matter what for their client, which I
Yep.
understand. I have my real estate license and I understand their perspective.
yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of times when you
Awesome.
don't have the agent involved, when you're working directly with the seller, it's a lot easier for you to get things to work the way that it works best for you. So
Yep.
Mhm.
No, that's that makes so much more sense now that I've at least talked to you. I've heard this terminology nonstop all the time, but I never fully kind of grasped it. And this is the first year I've truly gotten involved in like seriously, like taking this seriously for real estate investing. Prior to this, the loan officer world was collect some W-2s, pay stubs, bank statements. I'll run your credit, double check the credit, make sure like there's no derogatory trade lines on there, and send it to the underwriter. And then just wait for the stuff to close and maybe talk to the real estate agent, and that was that. So it was pretty straightforward with that. But this is like a whole nother world in itself. So
Right. It
yeah,
was,
and
so
yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
I know Marcella wants to go over the website with you, but I did have one
Yep.
more question for you, Robert,
Yep.
because I mean, it's good for us too to hear it from your perspective.
Mhm.
How far did you get in the DSCR loan process? Did you fill out an application and all of that, or did you
Yeah,
just,
I filled out a full application,
okay,
had everything all done. I even copied their terms that they gave me on the site here.
mhm,
And I'll drop it in the chat here for you guys so you can see. But
okay,
they gave, and I was just like, what, wow, like, and then when I saw the required amount, that's exactly from their website. And then when I saw the required amount, I was like, hold on, money down? I was like, hold on.
okay, yep,
Yeah.
yep. No,
Yeah.
but again, and if it was a scenario
Yeah.
where the seller was willing to carry back and we could do it that way, that wouldn't be a big problem at all, right? So
Right.
it just depends on
Exactly.
how you're
That's
structuring the deal, and
yeah.
that's where that would come in. Good. Well,
And
it's
I
good
was
to know.
so
So see, that's
frazzled.
just just even going through that process of already knowing what does it take to apply for a DSCR loan. That is a
Yeah.
huge learning step for you, because
You,
now the next time you
Yeah.
do that, it's going to be a piece of cake. You're not going to have any surprises. You're going to know what's going on.
True.
That's
True.
great. And get
yeah.
your numbers
Yeah.
already lined up. So that's great.
Yep, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was because I'm like on the phones because I work at home, but I work on the phones and like
Okay.
more of like a it's medical sales, but it's kind of
Yeah.
like a call center type of environment. So I'm like
Yeah.
talking to a customer, then I saw Marcella, you call me back, and I'm like, okay, gotta go, bye. I got with the customer trying to answer your phone. Like, okay.
No worries. I totally
So
get it. I used to do the same.
No.
So
yeah.
Yeah.
a
Don't
long,
and
long
don't.
time ago. Yeah.
Yeah, don't feel like you have to cut one of your clients short.
Oh
We can,
man.
we can always, you can always call us back. That's not a
Yeah.
problem. Not a
Yeah.
Oh
problem.
man.
No worries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No pressure on that. Let me share the website with you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Uh-huh.
So, and this was also in the email. So, whenever, you get a chance to kind of dig into it a
Yep,
little bit
I
more.
will.
Yep. Over here is a brand new live deal activity. So you can kind of see how active our team is. Ryan, our main JV partner, kind of adds different things in whenever it's just always a great idea. Full transparency is what our team is about. We even have HUD statements linked in the email that you can click on to see our most recent, HUDs and the activity that we're doing. But anyway, so this is just for the month of December. Um,
Mm,
and you can see we've already had a requested this month alone of 36 mil,
Mhm.
correct? So,
hey,
yeah. So
amazing.
we just got one deal submitted in today for 20,000. It doesn't really say what, which I think
EMD right below there, it says
right
EMD.
below
Yeah.
EMD. Oh, sorry, just saw that. Yeah, EMD. But you can start to see double closing at 8.5 mil. We've got double closing at 822,000. That was 2 days ago. EMD at 1,500. A stack, which we call stack, is the same thing as the Morby method at
Yep.
165. And then if I can just kind of scroll through here, you can start seeing stack, stack, stack. There's another 8 mil, double closing at 53. Another stack at 2.8. And it just goes on and on. So the majority, as you can
That's awesome.
see,
Yeah.
are either stack or double closes. There are a few, like this is a huge EMD amount for 100,000. Um,
Yeah.
so that might have been more from a commercial, right?
Mhm.
Hmm.
Rather than just a single family. So anyway, that is that. Okay, so on here, it's very basic. So anytime you submit, whether it's going to be an EMD request you might have, or double close, or even the stack, um, it's just it's all free. So I want you to think like basically what it does, Robert, is it starts the conversation with our team. That's all it
Hmm.
does. It's not like, oh, where's your credit card? We need that, we need that minimum payment, right? We're not going to ask for that. So what you're going to do here, and you're going to see, you hit submit funding request. Now, if you're not quite sure like the process, I love this tab here because you can click it and you can go, well, I'm going to be doing a double close. So let me learn their process. And it literally breaks down everything we do.
Got it. Step by
Okay.
step.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And same
That's
thing for
awesome.
EMD. And then the same thing down here for the staff.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. Now you're going to see
And
one common theme in each one of these. We will review your request, and within about 30 minutes, you're going to get an email.
that's amazing.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
So there's all that full transparency, like I said. So going back to this, when you click submit, first thing is we just want your basic information: first, last name, email, phone number. Then we're going to
Hmm.
have ask for the address of the deal, right, itself, how much you need.
Hmm.
The deal type, whether it's EMD, double close, or stack. And again, down here, you'll have to do a drop down menu, picking whatever kind of funding you need, right?
Got it.
So if it's double closing, same title, we'll ask you for the close date. Are the contracts signed? Yes, they're all signed, or no, I need to go back and make sure everything's signed, right? Then here, any other notes? This is a very important box, because
Yep.
this box, let's just say like we had someone who was submitting a stack and he just needed to add more information. He was talking, it was an agent involved on the deal. We're actually kind of in the middle of that one right now.
Hmm.
And so he's like, hey, the agent wants to see a pre-approval letter. So I'm working on that. So I was like, put that all in here so that our
Got
team
it.
knows what you're working on, right?
Got it. Okay.
And then, of course, with a double close, the A to B contract and the B to C has to be uploaded. And then you just click this box and submit. Okay.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Very straightforward.
So
Super
Yep.
simple.
easy. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
So,
that is really, yeah.
and if you can see right now, we're already funded in 2025 at 17.8 mil.
Damn, congrats, guys. That's
So,
awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice.
And again, we partner with Ryan, and we have other,
Yeah.
he's our main funding partner, but we do have other JV capital partners depending on the type of request for funding and then how
Hmm.
much is needed, right? So sometimes on these HUDs, you're going to see not just Ryan's LLC, but you might see a few others LLCs because that's just how
Yeah.
we fund. We pull, money together. So.
Now, when you're doing the stack, aka Morby method, that does that always have to be done in LLCs?
Great question.
And with the seller carry, is that seller carry? Do I know? Because I was watching a video somewhere and I wasn't sure if it was Pace or his assistant, Melissa or not Melissa Palmer, the other lady, Jade.
Oh, Jade.
Jade.
JP.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
she was saying that it typically is best to now have the seller on a Morby as a under an LLC. It's a good idea. But is that something that is normal, or does that even matter for the for
So
the
my
stack?
understanding is most DSCR lenders are going to want to have the property in an LLC because of the type of
There
loan
we go.
it is.
Okay, that makes more
So
sense now.
yeah,
Got
if
it.
you have an LLC, and I don't think you would want the seller to be connected to that LLC in any way. You just have the note to them. They have a note that's recorded that says that you're going to pay them, on the terms of the note. And we
Got
won't,
it.
we
Okay.
won't, we won't sign on as a member of your LLC either. We don't need to. And the
Right.
reason why is because we figured out a way to do it where it's cleaner for everybody. We
Hmm.
simply, when you submit a request for a stack method, and really the only thing you need is a signed LOI that gives the basic numbers of like the purchase price, the amount the seller is willing to carry about, the amount of debt they currently have to make sure that, there's enough room for them to carry back that
Okay.
amount. And then if you submit the LOI, the letter of intent,
Hmm.
with your request for stack funding, then our team can kind of get to work. They'll review the numbers, they'll send you the email like we said, but then they'll schedule a call to talk with you about the deal
Okay.
to make sure that you understand everything. And then at that point, if everything looks good, then they would move forward and there's a $1,400 upfront to pay for the transaction coordinators because they're going to
Right.
start doing the work regardless. Get
Right.
the attorney to start drafting the note. But while that's happening, we would have you create a relay bank account in the
Hmm.
name of your LLC. Okay. And then
Got
what
it.
you do is there's just a couple of steps you take where you give us control over that relay bank account. That
Mhm.
way we can put money in there. If the DSCR lender requires a proof of funds, we can put the money in there, take a snapshot, take the money back out, send that to the DSCR lender, and then they know, okay, these funds are going to be available at close. Great. And then the sourcing wise, so that's the sourcing wise, it's coming from your LLC. So they can see that the money's coming from your
Right.
LLC. So
Right.
that usually satisfies at least the DSCR lenders that we work with for sure, and many others, that's enough for them. And then it's just a matter of, okay, we're just heading towards the close date. We'll have the attorney's got the note ready to go, and we'll do the transaction. Again, the DSCR lender puts their funds into escrow. We put the remaining amount, like that 3,100 in your
Yep.
case, right?
Yep.
Plus any closing costs. We put all of that in there. That closes, okay? And then the seller has agreed to send a portion of their profits over to our attorney. Instead of having it sent to them, they have it sent over to the attorney. So that's part of the paperwork that they would do, sign off on that. So then the title company already has the instructions from the seller that says send X amount of dollars over to this attorney. The attorney gets the funds. They give us our initial down payment back. They give us our fee, and the rest of the money goes to you. And then the attorney sends the note that's been filed, over to the
Yeah.
seller. That way they have their assurance of whatever the terms were that you agreed to. So the thing with this is some people in the past have tried to do mortgage methods, and they still do, I think, sometimes, where they try to do it all at once at the title company in one transaction. And it just blows everybody's circuits because the title company doesn't know what to do with that. If they don't structure it right, in some cases, it may even be considered fraud. But by separating out the first closing from the attorney as two separate transactions, usually done on the same day, but it could be done on, in consecutive days. That usually keeps it real clean. And then there's no problem because the closing at the title company is just a regular closing where you're using the DSCR lender's money as the primary, and you're using our close as the down payment secondary. So it's a clean closing. And then the attorney, he's done so many of these, he's just like, boom, 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 get the note sent over, send the money back to us, and the extra money over to you, and everybody's happy.
So a lot of steps, it sounds like, a lot of documentation
Yep,
involved as well.
There's more steps, there's more things that need to be signed, which is where those TCs come in. We have a couple of different
I think we
dedicated
have 3 or
TCs.
4 now.
We have, I think we're up to 4 TCs, but I know for sure 2 of them handle all the stack stuff, and they know how to do that. They coordinate between the title company, the DSCR lender, the seller. They get everything signed off.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about all of those, or who has to sign what and what do I have to sign. They take care of all of that. Like you said, it's a good bit of paperwork.
Oh,
But
that's
in the end,
that just mentioned is like, like I mean,
Yeah.
first you're
Yeah,
talking about you have to.
No, it's true. And I always call it our white glove service because most of our borrowers want the white glove service where we help you from literally the contract until close. And
Understood. That's
so,
amazing.
I mean, it's
Well,
kind of like, and for even the very, very experienced borrowers that we help fund Morbies, they always are like, just do that thing that you guys know how to do really, really well, because
that's awesome.
I just want to go find more properties to bring.
That's what I was about to say. Like, gladly, here's the $1,400. Go ahead and pay the TC. Let me spend my time doing what I do best, which is talking to sellers and that stuff. Amazing.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Now, to make it really clear too, we just have about 3 minutes left, so I want to make sure we use our time. But we do not underwrite just due to liability, right? So you definitely will want to make sure, like when you're doing the Morbies or the the double closes, that somebody that you trust or whoever, if whether Christopher, knows how to really underwrite those kind of deals and structure them properly. But yeah, our back end team is just amazing. I can't say enough about them. Between Ryan wiring the funds at just the right time, and making sure those funds go through to our top tier TCs that are trained by PACE, to our attorney, and we fund nationwide. We fund in all states across the nation.
Got it. So
Yeah.
sounds like I need to just talk to some more sellers, not wholesalers,
There you
and get
go.
some stuff under contracts. And it's really about just based on everything I'm taking away. It's like, talk to the sellers, talk to the do your underwriting, obviously.
Hmm.
Talk
Yep.
to your end buyers, and
Yep.
just put those two together pretty much.
Right. And
That's
we
it.
gave you that brand new stack
Yeah.
calculator. We kind of revised it a couple times.
Okay.
This is by far the best version of it. I can tell you it is easy for anyone to put in those numbers, and then it comes out, hey, green, yes, this is a go,
Okay.
or red, try the numbers again, start over.
Got it.
Right.
Okay,
So,
I'll check it out shortly because
yeah.
I got back at 11:45
Yeah.
and then I had the kids and stuff. So
No worries, no worries. And I built in a
yeah,
short example video there. So at the bottom of the calculator, if you click on that, it'll take you
yeah.
to a video. I'll walk you through an example. It makes it
Okay.
easy.
And Robert, I
I
know we
was
have
yeah.
just a little bit of time.
Pleasure.
We're so
Yep.
glad we got to meet you, and
Yeah.
we're
Yeah,
just going to make
likewise.
sure we thank Christopher for the connection. But
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely. Oh,
enjoy
we'll be bringing
this
stuff.
holiday season with your family. Merry Christmas to you.
Thank
Um,
you. Merry Christmas to you guys
Merry
too.
Christmas.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And if it's okay with you, I probably will
Yeah.
follow up sometime after the holidays and
Yeah, yeah, of
early
course.
part of January and just, reconnect. So
No, please keep in touch. Absolutely.
yeah.
And
And
Yeah,
believe
but
me,
if
once we have something under contract,
yeah.
yep,
I'm calling you guys first. That's
Yeah,
for
great,
sure.
we take
great.
And
very
I've
few
already,
days off, so obviously
yeah,
we're here, we're gonna be here. So if anything between now and early part of January happens, reach out.
Yeah,
will do.
exactly.
That you need
All
help.
right.
Sounds good. All
Great
right.
talking
Okay.
with you, Robert.
Thanks, Robert.
Likewise, Tim. Likewise,
All
Marcel.
right. Have a
Pleasure.
blessed Christmas.
Take care.
We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Bye.